You know, one of the news stories we're going to talk about today required me to bring out one of my biggest Funko Pops. Meet Jeffrey. Hey guys, my name is Chris and thanks for clicking on this video. I really didn't think I was going to make another one of these so soon, but you guys have been so supportive about these little side flick news stories. And there was just recently so much news that I definitely wanted to talk about, but did not warrant its own big video like I do with most of the topics on my channel. We're going to be discussing a lot here today. We have two Transformers movies in the works, one of them being a reboot. The title for Jurassic World 3 has been revealed. Production on Batman has started. We have a logo, another freaking reboot of a popular horror movie, that and so much more, guys. So join me as I become like Becker and I beg for them likes. It's the only thing you have to do to support these videos, guys. I'm gonna keep doing this until it just becomes common knowledge on these videos. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about here is obviously the big news here. Transformers getting a freaking reboot. The specific report in question is from Deadline, where they talk about the two Transformers movies currently under works at Paramount. The first one we're gonna talk about is a sequel to Bumblebee, a movie I wound up liking so much for so many different reasons. One, it was the first Transformers movie not directed by Michael Bay, had the beautiful Haley Steinfeld, the robot designs, perfection, and a lot of us already believe that was already a semi-reboot of the franchise. Well, it looks like we are going to be getting a sequel to that. No word yet if Haley Steinfeld is attached to return, if it'll jump to a different decade, because this one did take place, I believe, in the 70s or 80s, so it could be that now we jump into the 90s. Who knows if the trilogy will eventually end off with Bumblebee ending up in that lot where he was for sale and then Shia LaBeouf Sam Witwicky finds him, or if it'll lead to this continuing reboot that they're planning. Which, speaking of the reboot, the second film in development at Paramount is more of a spin-off, but is being branded as a reboot because it is the new direction that they want to head in, away from the common knowledge Transformers. What I mean by that is the typical Decepticons versus Autobots situation with Optimus Prime and Megatron. After about 6 movies of that, it's time to do something different, and they're gonna go ahead and introduce Beast Wars. Now, I gotta admit, I'm a virgin Transformers fan. I only casually watch the television series, so I have no idea what Beast Wars is. A lot of you Transformer fans in the comment section are gonna have to let me know if this is exciting. But basically, for you other virgins out there, losers. Beast Wars was a series of Transformers where it was a bunch of Transformers turning into beasts. Gorillas, tigers, you name it. If it was a beast, they would transform into it. We kind of already got hints of that in one of the Transformers movies where we had a dinosaur show up. And since this is a spin-off, do not expect Optimus Prime or any other familiar Transformer Autobots to show up. They're going to be planting the seeds for their own little universe separate from those Transformers. My main excitement from this is the fact that we're getting Transformers movies not directed by Michael Bay, and I know I'm saying that a lot here, nothing against Michael Bay, but after having movies not directed by him that were in that franchise, the Bad Boys and Transformers, and then them succeeding, it gets me very excited to what these other people can do with the property. Just give me some really good robot designs. Don't make it look all CGI meshy nonsense. But like I said, let me know down below if you're excited for this or if you're just done with the Transformers franchise. One thing I definitely wanted to talk about in the last side flick update, but it completely slipped my mind, is that a Mega Man movie is in the works. Originally, this project was canceled by Disney after they bought Fox Studios, but now another studio has picked it up and they're going for a live action remake of the character of Mega Man. Right now, the co-writer of the Batman, who we've been hearing nothing but amazing things from that script, is going to be writing the script for the live action Mega Man movie. Now, who knows if this thing actually gets off the ground and happens? And I just say that because it is a video game property, and anytime a video game property is in development and in that 2 or 3 year period while it's being made, marketed, and getting sent out to the public, there's other video game movies coming out. Sonic the Hedgehog, Mortal Kombat. And if those movies fail at the box office and with critics, no studio's gonna want to continue doing these video game movies. It's a little wild sometimes that these other projects can have such a huge effect on ones that haven't even gotten off the ground yet. But Mega Man, I think, lends itself to being a great live action movie. Part of me probably would have preferred it to be animated just because there's an endless possibility of what can be done with it. But for you Mega Man fans out there, are you actually excited for this thing, or could you do without it? And speaking on someone who's working on the Batman, Matt Reeves tweeted last night that day one of principal photography to the Batman has begun. I am following this Batman news like crazy. I am super excited. Heck, I have myself right here a friggin' Batman mask I plan to wear once Matt Reeves releases the suit. I'm gonna react to it, put on this mask, and just make an embarrassment out of myself, basically. But it's cool to see here this still, that it's actually being filmed. It's happening right now. There's people in the world who have seen this batsuit up close, and the world has no idea what this thing looks like yet. It's also great to point out the title is for sure The Batman. That's what a lot of us were calling it, but we were never confirmed that is the title. Now with this from Matt Reeves, it is titled The Batman. I love the red letters, and even if you zoom in, it has that comic book feel to it. A lot of that having to do with the iconic dots in comic book ink. If I had to guess where this was, because I don't think this is just some ordinary place or even the home of Matt Reeves, this to me feels like it's Wayne Manor, Batman's mansion, and who knows if maybe right now off camera they're taking photos of the batsuit, preparing them to be online pretty soon. I'm just excited this thing is happening, and how do you guys feel about the red letters and the title they decided for the Batman? Into some horror movie news. One of the most iconic horror movies ever made that is for sure a favorite of mine is John Carpenter's The Thing. Now if you're one of the few people out there who have not watched The Thing, I highly recommend it. Some amazing use of practical effects. It's getting the reboot treatment for the third time. Don't forget, the most famous version by John Carpenter, that was basically a reboot in itself. Then they did it again, was okay, they just used way too much CGI, and now they're doing it for a third time with Universal and Blumhouse. Now already I can see a lot of us panicking, a lot of us being upset that this is happening, but when you read the details of why it's happening, they have a good reason. In 1938, acclaimed science fiction author John W. Campbell published the novel Who Goes There, about a team of scientists in Antarctica who discover and are terrorized by a monster shape-shifting alien entity. The story would later be adapted into John Carpenter's iconic movie, The Thing. The published novella was actually an abridged version of Campbell's original story called Frozen Hell, which had to be shortened for publication. The Frozen Hell manuscript remained unknown and unpublished for decades, and it was only recently rediscovered. Frozen Hell expands The Thing's story dramatically, giving vital backstory and context to an already incredible tale. To summarize that in English for you guys, basically the original Thing that we know and love was made from a shortened version of the actual story, and now several years later we've uncovered the entire book, with giving us backstory to the alien, more character development from our heroes, and really it sounds like so much more. So there is good reason for them to make this reboot, because we never knew the full story, and now we get the chance to have it on the big screen. I think that's reason enough for them to go ahead and reboot this. My main thing here is the reason John Carpenter's Thing is so iconic is because of those freaking practical effects. Do what you gotta do in the newfound story, but when the Thing is on screen and doing its bidding, use practical effects with a mixture of CGI to enhance it. I'm actually really looking forward to this thing, and having Blumhouse attached, which is one of the most iconic horror studios to date, that's a good sign for me. Just also make it rated R. Blumhouse sometimes goes for that PG-13 factor for money. Next off here, Jurassic World 3, a movie I'm super looking forward to, even though the last one was kinda meh. But Colin Trevorrow, who directed the first Jurassic World with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, which I enjoyed so much more than most people, is coming back for the third installment, and it seems that the title has been revealed. There was recently a Twitter post where there were fans of Jurassic World asking to go ahead and predict the title for the next movie. One of the most common responses was Jurassic World Extinction, which would make a lot of sense given with the story that they're going with for this movie, but Colin Trevorrow was real quick to point out, no, we're not going to go with that. It's not happening. But with him denying, he also goes ahead and confirms that, wow, someone actually got it. And if we follow Colin Trevorrow's likes and retweets on this post, it seems he's aiming towards Jurassic World New Era as the title for the third installment. It might catch a little off guard, but this line was actually said in the most recent Jurassic World movie by Jeff Goldblum himself, in where he mentions we've entered a new era. You pair that up with the new story of dinosaurs and humans trying to live in harmony, that definitely is a new era. I am extremely excited for this Jurassic World movie, especially since they have so many legacy characters of the Jurassic Park series. Bringing back Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard. It's basically the Avengers Endgame for Jurassic Park. And my little Jeffrey here couldn't be more excited to roar again. But anyways, guys, this is just some of the movie tidbits that have been happening. It was really so much news. If I let this pile on until the coming Friday, it would have been too much. But like I said, guys, be sure to leave me your thoughts down below of each one of these topics, which one was your favorite, and hit that like button. It really helps out with these small segment videos. But as always, guys, I'm Chris. Take care.